Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel and to the English short story with subtitle and the audio, episode 12. Today we're going to read a story about Rapunzel. Hari ini kita akan membaca cerita tentang Rapunzel. Tapi sebelum itu, bagi teman-teman yang baru di channel ini, jangan lupa untuk dukung channel ini dengan cara subscribe dan juga like videonya. Thank you. Nah, bagi teman-teman yang ingin mendownload file cerita ini, baik berupa PowerPoint, Microsoft Word, atau sekedar copy-paste, kalian bisa kunjungi website Butterfly English. Linknya ada di kolom deskripsi.
Rapunzel. Once upon a time, there was a girl named Rapunzel. She lived with a witch who locked her in a tower without a door and stairs in a forest. There's only a window for someone to come in and out, and it's only for the witch. When the witch wanted to go in, she stood beneath the window and cried, "Rapunzel, Rapunzel, let down your hair." Rapunzel had magnificent long hair, fine as spun gold, and when she heard the voice of the witch, she wound her braids round one of the hooks of the window. And then the hair fell down the side of the tower, and the witch climbed up by it. One day, a prince came to pass the forest and went by the tower. He heard a song which was so lovely that he stood still and listened. That was Rapunzel who in her loneliness passed her time singing. The prince wanted to climb up to her and look for the door of the tower, but none was to be found. He rode home, but the singing had so deeply touched his heart that every day he went out into the forest and listened to it. Once, when he was standing behind a tree listening to Rapunzel's song, he saw the witch come and heard how she cried, "Rapunzel, Rapunzel, let down your hair." "Aha," said the prince. "So that is how it is done." He waited till the witch left the tower. He stepped up to the tower. In a voice that sounded as much like the witch as he could, he called out, "Rapunzel, Rapunzel, let down your hair." In a moment, the long blonde braid came out of the window. "It worked," thought the prince. He climbed up the wall of the tower. Rapunzel was very surprised to see the prince climb into her window. She had never seen another person other than the witch. "Who are you?" she said in fear. "Do not worry," said the prince. "I am a friend." "But I do not know you," said Rapunzel. "I feel as if I know you," said the prince. "Since I have heard you sing songs from up here day after day, you have a beautiful voice, and I love it when the birds sing with you too." "Yes, I like that too," said Rapunzel. "It may be the only thing I like, since I must stay here in this old tower day after day, my whole life long." Rapunzel told the prince about the witch sadly. They talked about many things, about the world outside there that is beautiful. Many hours went by. At last, Rapunzel said the prince must go. "The witch may come back at any time." "Very well," said the prince, "but I will be back again." Rapunzel threw her braid out the window, and the prince climbed down. One day, the prince said, "If only you could get out of this tower. I can come and go by climbing up the walls, by holding on to your braid. But once I am down, how can you get down too?" "I know," said Rapunzel. "Bring me a ball of silk each time you come. I can weave the silk into a ladder. Silk folds up so small the witch won't see it. When the ladder gets long enough to reach the ground, we will both be able to climb out of here." "That's it," said the prince. Then he moved closer to Rapunzel. "We will both be free. When we are out in the world, will you marry me?" "Yes," said Rapunzel. I will. Every day after that, the prince brought a ball of silk to Rapunzel. Over time, she weaved the silk into a long ladder.
The witch knew nothing of this until once Rapunzel said in her distraction, "Oh my, you're so much heavier when you climb than the prince."
"Ah, you weak child!" cried the witch. "What have you just said? I thought I had separated you from all the world, but you have deceived me." In her anger, she clutched Rapunzel's beautiful hair, seized a pair of scissors, and cut it all off. Holding the braid in one hand, the witch laughed an evil laugh. With a stroke of her magic, Rapunzel was cast away to a faraway desert. Then the witch stayed in the tower room. She knew that soon the prince would come back. Soon the prince was calling at the bottom of the tower, "Rapunzel, Rapunzel, let down your hair." So that is how he did it, thought the witch. Holding tightly to one end of Rapunzel's braid, she threw the braid out the window. The prince took hold and climbed up. When he got to the window, he was much surprised to see the witch. "Where is Rapunzel?" he called out. "What have you done with her?" "You will never see Rapunzel again," yelled the witch. The witch pushed the prince so hard that he lost hold of the window. Down, down he fell. The prince landed on some bushes below. That helped with the fall, but bushes had sharp thorns. Some of the thorns went into his eyes. The prince was blind. For 2 years, the poor blind prince wandered the world, looking for Rapunzel. From morning to night he called for her, but it was no use. At last, he reached the desert. One day, he heard a beautiful voice singing. "Oh," he thought, "I know that voice." It was his dear Rapunzel. He went closer and closer to the voice he knew so well. "My prince," called Rapunzel when she saw him. The two of them hugged tight. 2 tears of joy fell into the eyes of the prince. All at once he could see again. The prince and Rapunzel went back to the kingdom where the prince lived. They were married as soon as they could. The two of them lived happily ever after.
Now let's learn new vocabulary. Sekarang mari kita belajar kosakata baru. Are you ready? Apa kamu siap? Witch, witch, penyihir. Braids, braids, kepangan. Hook, hook, kait. Tower, tower, menara. Loneliness, loneliness, kesepian. Blonde, blonde, pirang. Weave, weave, menenun. Overtime, overtime, seiring waktu. Separated, separated. Kata kerja kedua berasal dari kata separate, memisahkan. Deceived, deceived, berasal dari kata deceive, artinya menipu atau mengelabui. Thank you for watching. Jangan lupa untuk like, comment, subscribe, dan juga share dengan teman-teman kalian.